Our fourth grade mission was asked to research and analyze the positive and negative aspects of a California mission. Then, in groups of 8 to 9 students, in 8 to 9 student teams, we built our redesigned missions with our unique architectural designs on Minecraft EDU. Here's the church that is meant for teaching Christianity. Here are the Padres' quarters, where the Padres lived. Over here here's the blacksmith shop here, which was used for making the iron tools and all the other weapons and armor and things like that for the missions. Here's another section for the Padres' quarters. Here's the laundry, which has a small lake next to it. Here are the workshops over here, including the weaving workshop, the kitchen, and the tannery, all along this strip. Here's the winery. Here's the winery that has the vineyard next to it and a little garden here. Here is the tannery, which is used for fashioning leather hides into saddles and boots and all their leather needs. Here is the kitchen with the smoke coming out of it. And here are some of the workers' quarters outside the mission. Here's a bell that was used for the time and when to do things at the mission. Here some more of the buildings for the workers' quarters and here is the weaving workshop. Here is part of the weaving workshop. Inside, this is like the quadrangle all around, and this is the fountain in the center, and here's a cross and the second bell. This is the tannery. The tannery's purpose was to fashion hides into leather for different items, such as saddles, boots, and windows scraped clear enough to see through. The items were used for trades and the mission use. Here's the table for scraping the hides of the cattle. Here are the tools that were used to scrape the hides. Here are the products made from the leather, and also some more of the tools. Here's the tanning pit that was used for soaking the hides, and then to get them ready for the process. Upstairs is for where some of the hides can dry that are unfinished. The unfinished products to dry. Here are the unfinished products that are left to dry. This is the tannery. The tannery's purpose... Oh, dang! This is the laundry. It is used for washing the workers and Padres' clothes. This is the lake that was used for supplying water. It has a gargoyle decoration. This is inside the tannery. It has the basin supplied by the water from the lake. Here's the bucket that was used for the access water. Here are the different shirts the Padres wore that are cleaned or dirty.
These are the mission bells. The bell's purpose was to call the workers over from times in the morning, like waking up, getting to work and eating breakfast, to time in the noon or afternoon, like finishing up work, eating lunch and dinner, and going to sleep. The bells were usually hung up in bell towers or bell walls. Back then, they made some bells out of wood. This is bad because wood can burn. So instead, we used gold and iron. We put two bells high in bell towers. This is because if there is a fire, the bell towers are made out of stone, so the fire can't reach. We made one golden bell right there. We have chosen to put the golden bell next to the church because when the workers and padres hear the sound of the bell and it's coming from the church, then that means it's telling them it's time to go to church. We put another bell, the iron bell, over there next to the workshop, and that whole row right there is the workshop. This is because the workers can hear it louder and it tells them what to do because it's right next to them. This is the Mission Church. The church was used to pray and to turn Native Americans into Catholics. To your left, you're going to find two large chests full of 48 maps. In the middle of the church, there was a large gangway for the Native Americans to run through, the neophytes to run through. There were always 5 to 20 benches for the natives to sit on. If there were more people to services, some people had to stand. In the front of the church, there's a cross made of gold. There are 2 crosses made of gold. In the front of the cross, there's an altar. The roof of the mission church was used of brick. In the front of the cross, there's an altar where the priest stood during church service. The church is the most important room in the mission of the church and the whole mission. The church was used for praying and teaching how to be Christian. Wait, what? Okay, done.
Hello, and this is the Padres' quarters. The purpose of this room was for the Padres to rest and sleep in. Over here is a wooden cross. It resembles Christianity. Over here is the bed. The bed is made out of wool and a certain type of wood made for the base. Over here is a chest. It's used for putting private property and for putting clothes in there. Over here is where they bathe. Every Padre needed a place to bathe. Let's go over here. Here are the chests. The chests are where the Padres put their clothes in. Thank you for watching the Padres' quarters, and I hope you enjoyed it.
This is the workers' quarters. The workers' quarters were where the workers lived. This is the outside of the houses. As you can see, the houses are also made out of adobe brick. Now we're going to enter a house. This is the house. To start off with, in this corner there's a bed for two people to share, and right next to the bed, as you can see, there's a chest. It has some clothes in it. It has a few maps, a diary, and yes. And now we are, you can look around. Over here is a fireplace. It looks like an oven, but it's a pit for the fire. Down here is where you put the wood, and up here will be the fire. And wait, can I redo it? And here is the block. They used a clay with a flower on top to make their house smell good. And over here they had a pit where they could bathe in. So they could bathe in it, and it's also used for drinking water. And outside of here is a crop. They sometimes had crops next to their house because they got the water from here also to drink. It was very good soil, and they had very much water. And even though these houses are very small, they were nice and cozy.
This is the blacksmith shop. The blacksmith shop was made for making a variety of tools such as axes, nails, hammers, saws, hinges, locks, keys, and garden supplies. All of these tools were helpful for the mission workers. The blacksmith shop would also repair the tools if they were damaged or broken. Over there, in the corner, is the shelves to hold up all the tools. Over there is a fireplace to heat up all the iron. Straight ahead is the chests, crafting tables, and anvils. We redesigned the blacksmith shop by making a big window next to the door. Workers can come and get their tools instead of going inside and wasting precious seconds. Okay, so this is the soap and candle making room. They use this room to make soap and candles for washing the clothes of the Padres and workers. The soap at the mission didn't have a pleasing smell, but it worked well for cleaning clothes. The process of making soap required fat from hides or cattle or sheep, creating tallow. Candles can also use tallow, but was mixed with beeswax collected from the hides of wild bees. Both candle making and soap making were done during the cold months because of the need to make a fire burning all through the process. The soap and candle room was a very important part of the mission.
This is the winery. The winery is especially made for making wine for everyone at the mission. This is the winery. The winery is specially made for making wine for everyone at the mission. The winery is a room with pits for workers to crush the grapes with their bare feet, like this one. There are also pieces of cloth used to filter the grape juice, and many barrels full of wine. Most importantly is the vineyard beside the winery. It took many acres of room where workers handpicked the grapes and brought it into the winery to be manufactured into wine. Every mission had a vineyard
for wine in the wineries where it all started.
Okay, so escape.
The kitchen was made to feed all of the people in the mission. Here's the sink where the workers wash their hands before cooking meals for the Padres and other Native Americans. Ovens were also built in the kitchen like this one. To cook food, and since there was lots of smoke, a hole was built in the roof with iron bars climbing up to it. There are also chests built into the kitchen so that the Native Americans could save some of the food, so that there would still be a bite to eat during winter.
This is the weaving workshop. The weaving workshop was used for making blankets, baskets, and clothes. Some of the baskets they wove were so firm that it could even hold water. Over here are looms that workers used to weave cloth. This is a loom. Cloth for clothing and blankets came from Mexico by ship. Both men and women worked in the weaving workshop. We redesigned the weaving workshop by adding chairs in front of the looms. These are the chairs, and by adding a place where workers can get their tools easily. The weaving workshop is a big part of the mission.